Hello and welcome back to Schlegel Bricks. My name is Clay. Thank you for tuning in. Got another package of bricks in the mail, which means it's time to do some more work on this bad boy. So, yeah. What are we waiting for? Let's go! All right, so let's go over what has all been accomplished here. I didn't get everything on camera, on time-lapse, just because, well, part of it was I just needed to kind of work off camera to figure something out, and then the other part was just I was too excited and just built it without having the camera around. And that's pretty much what happened here with the tiling in the atrium. If you notice, the pattern was inspired by a couple of stadiums that I actually posted teasers of on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you might be missing out a little bit. I do post some teasers. Go by the same username as here on YouTube, just Schlegel Bricks, spelled the exact same way. But yeah, the tiling pattern with the stripes is inspired by two stadiums, Old Yankee Stadium and State Farm Stadium of the Arizona Cardinals. So yeah, that's the tiling there. And then as you can see, we have two statues, which is the main attraction of the atrium area. Two statues that I pretty much designed like way back when I first started this stadium, and just now decided to put them in. It was the right time. Also had to order some pieces for it, so didn't prioritize that until basically now. But yeah, we got one statue on the right that is kind of modeled or inspired off of the Curly Lambeau statue at Lambeau Field, home of the NFL's Green Bay Packers, which the stadium's named after Curly Lambeau, who's basically the founder of the franchise. And then the statue on the left is just a random kind of old-timey football player just signaling a touchdown. He's got the old school leather helmet on, and that's pretty much all it is. Not really inspired by anyone in particular. So yeah, those are the two statues that have been added to the atrium, and I gotta say, it really spruces things up. The next thing that we got done, as you also saw on the time-lapse, is we got all the tiling work done in the concourse level. I mean, we still got this area here to do, but all of this main concourse area is all been tiled off and finished, and that is true for not only the home stand here, but also the away stand over there. You can't really see it from this angle, but you're just gonna have to trust me. It looks exactly like this. Speaking of the concourse area, we also got some finishing work done on the steps that are leading up to the concourse level. So as you saw in the last video, it's pretty much going to be a kind of a zigzag up to this first level, but just got started making it actually look like a finished staircase. And once again, underneath the stairwell on both sides of the stands, there's going to be kind of a concession team store type of shop underneath. So gonna have to kind of create that interior first before I can kind of do the rest of the steps here. All right, and last but not least here for this update video, we have the maintenance double doors behind the far goal post. They're done. That was something I had to do off camera. I had to figure out how I was gonna make it work, dealing with making it so there's no friction for the doors to be able to open and close easily, stuff like that, and filling up some gaps, some awkward gaps there, but I'll go over that in a second here. But we have the doors completed, and then we have towers or pillars, sorry, large pillars flanking it, one on the left which is built up, and then one on the right which there's a reason why it's not quite done yet, and it's the reason why the doors are like 99.9% done at the moment. But yeah, those two pillars, those two large pillars, are going to be eventually holding up a scoreboard, which will be one of the last things I do in this mock, just because I need to figure out how tall the roof is going to be on this stadium before I can figure out then, you know, how much space I have for a scoreboard. So basically we're just going to leave these pillars at basically the height that this guy is at there for now. But let me just go over here and show you why it's only 99.9% done. And that is because of this little guy here. I am, I'm one black hinge short. So I got to order one, but that's what's holding up the door from being done and this pillar from being done. But otherwise it's done. And let me just yeet this goalpost out of here so I can show you how it works. I'm probably too old for that word, but I do not care. I used it anyway. Anyhow, we got double doors here. We got a locking mechanism that is just kind of held on by a bar. Toss that away, and then the doors open. Let me just zoom out here. It's way too zoomed in. All right, doors open and close. Just open. They can go all the way if you want, but then you can, you know, close it and then lock them. But yeah, pretty simple. There's this gap here, which is kind of hard to see, but there's an awkward gap, and so to fill it and to also make sure like the doors, you know, can close and they're not like, you know, friction, just stopping each other with friction, making it super hard to open and close. There's a little gap, and so I kind of closed it with a snot technique, which hopefully this shows up here. So yeah, that, and then basically I made kind of, it's hard to see, especially black. Black is hard to see on camera, but just kind of a plate and then a cheese slope on top to kind of fill out that gap, and then basically just angled it separately between the two doors so that they close. And then you can see a little gap here just because we're at a good angle to see that gap, but if you get right behind it, there's no gap. Get on the other side, no gap. So you can't see into the stadium from here. In a sense, there's some privacy, I guess you can see a little bit there, you know, if anybody wants to really catch a sneak peek of a sliver of action. But otherwise, I think it gets the job done. Obviously, you can't close them in the wrong order, so you gotta be conscious of that. But that's okay. That's pretty standard, right? There's doors like that out there. I wouldn't say it was my first choice, but considering the circumstances, what I had to deal with, it's fine. So yeah, that's the double door. It's 99.9% done. So that's all we got for this update video. I feel like we got a number of quality things accomplished here. We got the atrium looking a lot more snazzy with the tile work and the statues, and then we got the door on the end there, and we got the concourses tiled. I mean, we got a good amount of stuff for it. Oh, don't forget the start of the stairs. I mean, we got a good amount of work done, and it's really starting to come together. We're almost done with this kind of first level here. We're like getting there, and that was really the main goal for the end of this year, is to get, you know, the concourses and the atrium, you know, all done, including, you know, the shop, you know, team store, concession stand, and, you know, the stairways leading up to the concourse level. So yeah, I feel like we're making real good progress here, maybe even ahead of progress, ahead of schedule. Yeah, we're gonna just keep on going. But I'm loving where we're at here. I'm loving what we're getting done. Excited for future updates. But that'll do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always, but most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and keep on building.